Hey guys, if you're listening to this, we want you to know that you've got this. And don't give up if you're planning to. You're listening to the podcast where we discuss all about students' everyday experiences, hosted by three students who also face challenges: Rhea Aristoteles, Brina Benedicto, and May Dorico. So get ready to thrive because it's time to dig in the school archives.
Welcome back to another episode of the School Archives. For today's episode, we're going to tackle about the pandemic's impacts towards student education and all other things related to it. We'll be talking about that right after the short break.
Be motivated, productive, and the best. This podcast can inspire you to be the best version of yourself. The Enthusiasts. Listen now on Spotify.
Alright, let's dig right into this topic. Because I know a lot of us have different thoughts and struggles to talk about. So I'm gonna start by asking you, what are the effects has this pandemic brought to you when it comes to school and learning?
Well, one of the struggles I had was adjusting to the new normal education system. Given that some of us are privileged because we have sufficient access to gadgets and the internet, we still have problems in adapting when it comes to online learning. How about you guys?
Yeah, I think that mine is adapting too. Because we've always been in face to face classes, right? Seeing and talking to each other and teachers discussing right in front of us. And that, I don't know, I guess I'm just not used to having online classes.
Yes, also adapting and adjusting. Because sometimes I try to manage my time to submit the assignments before or on the deadline. But online learning or not, I think we all have to manage the time we have and set our priorities straight, right? Like as a student, we have to, since sometimes we get flooded with a lot of school works.
Yeah, I also try to manage my time so that I can work and focus on one task without having to stress out and worry about the others, like, oh no, I have to finish this right now, I might pass late. And I just don't like that, but to be honest, there are times I do this whenever I get distracted and lose track of time.
Well, yeah, sometimes I get distracted too and didn't notice it because of the amount of schoolwork I have right now. But anyway, do you guys have a lot of requirements? Like, are you doing well or are you stressed out?
Both. I'm doing well, but also really stressed out at the same time. There are times when the work overwhelms me and I lose the energy to finish it, but then I try to catch up, think positive, and motivate myself. Also, maybe listen to some music while I answer.
I listen to music too. It somehow calms me when I get stressed out. But yeah, I guess I'm doing fine. But there are just times when I break down and don't know what to do first, and I stop doing all my work and just relax my mind by doing something else, like my hobbies.
I agree. I think we all need to rest our minds and take a break once in a while because you can't just stress yourself by finishing all your work at once. You have to get your mind out of the tightness and difficulty. How about you guys? What are some of the things you guys do to distress?
To be honest, anything that doesn't involve school. I mean, I'm sincere with my studies. I don't want to fail, but I also don't want my mind to end up exploding because of all the thinking, you know? I mean, how about you, May? What are you up to?
Our minds ending up exploding doesn't sound nice at all. But I guess my way to de-stress is to relax my mind and clear my thoughts before I do anything else. I like it. But then I remember the schoolwork waiting for me and then everything goes back. Speaking of remembering your schoolwork, do you guys lose energy to finish requirements easily? Or are you easily motivated to do them?
For me, I don't know. I guess it depends on whether I'm in the mood or not to do them. How about you?
Depends on the situation, I guess, because sometimes I lose the will to be productive, but I try my best to not get distracted by other things that can stop or slow down my process.
You know what? Now that I think of it, it kinda does depend on the situation.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, have you guys noticed any changes that happened to yourselves during this quarantine? Mentally or physically? May?
Yeah, I guess it's the lack of motivation I got on doing requirements.
Yeah, a lot, but I guess the thing that changed the most during quarantine is, or are my hobbies. I used to have less hobbies before quarantine, and now that I have more time on myself, I think I figured out or like learned more new hobbies. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Interesting. But how do you guys feel about that? Are you okay with it? Do you like that certain change of yourself? Or do you not like it?
Yeah, I like it because now I have new hobbies to spend time on, and I don't get bored that much anymore. But yeah, I guess that's it. How about you, May?
Well, I do know that I don't like the change I got during online classes. 'Cause how am I supposed to do my work if I don't, get up and go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some changes are nice and some are not. Speaking of change, what are your thoughts about the new education system you guys are undergoing? I almost forgot about that. We should have talked about this a while ago.
Well, I think it's definitely something we've never experienced before. I mean, some students might have done their schoolwork from home or maybe got homeschooled, but right now I think it gives students a hard time because we need to adjust to it because it's not something we've done before or we've never done every day, like face-to-face classes.
Blended learning. It's not new. A lot of schools have gone through blended learning, yet it's not something most students have experienced. But what I do know is that it's definitely something we didn't expect to happen in the first place.
Yeah, I had no idea this was coming. I thought classes were only suspended for 2 weeks. But anyway, I'm glad I learned a lot about you guys, your thoughts on how you cope up with school today. And I hope the listeners did too.
Also, you can follow our socials so that you can maybe suggest more topics for us to talk about. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The School Archives. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation, guys, and that you would like to dig up more topics with us. But for now, we'll catch you on the next episode of The School Archives. The School Archives is produced by Spotify Studios and Twilight Network, hosted by Rhea Aristoteles, Brina Benedicto, and May Rico. Make sure to follow The School Archives here in Spotify so you don't miss out on any episodes.